he was telling us a story. It was like super emotional because he's like, yeah, all my employees are lining up outside my door, which has never happened. This was like during 2008, 9. And they're like, I'll take a pay cut. I'll do like all these things because he's, developed a culture in his
I
business.
think it was during 2020, you're saying, right? Or
Mm,
oh, was it?
no, it was like
Oh,
a
okay.
while ago. It was a
Okay.
while ago.
Okay.
Anyway, all of his employees were like they're like, we'll take a pay cut just so that we can
Mhm.
keep everybody on board. And like
Mhm.
it's unbelievably impactful. Like
Oh,
it's not just about the money at that point. You've created a culture where everyone, person after person after person, is willing to take a financial hit just so that everybody can stay on the team. Like
mhm.
I mean, there's very few businesses in the world like that. Almost
Yeah.
everyone's cutthroat. They're all about like, how far
Yeah.
can I get? It's a really good example for something that we should all strive for to
I
create
think
that culture.
though it is those companies that go past a certain, like, you can't. I think a lot of home service businesses, if you go past a certain point, you have to learn this stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because I'll go visit roofing companies. Like, let's say, I used to door knock roofing companies for fun around here. Like, so I went and visited some, and like you can sense, like, just in some of them, you can sense what you're talking about, that cutthroatness
Mm-hmm.
and this like kind of seething. Like, all you want is, like, this is what the feeling I get in those situations. Like, all you want is money. I know they have more money than me. Okay. I know this marketing agency is not as profitable as half of you think. Like, we're not all like, we don't all have Usher at our fucking Christmas party. Okay. But that can't be traced back because literally no one actually has had Usher. It's just an example,
You
guys.
don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, but like, we can't, like, just because you're rich and like your salespeople, you know what I mean? Like, I get the sense, like, whoa, dude, I can tell the owner makes 1 million or whatever. I can tell they've got this high pressure sales culture based on door knocking. And there's just something to that. There's nothing. I love door knocking, but there is like there's association with the storm chaser. There's something there where it's like, it feels like they're satisfied with just money. And just
Mhm.
like the cutthroatness, and like, I get it. You got to fire people quick if they can't perform. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more like, what about aspirational, like, leadership development for your people? You know what I mean? Like, what about going beyond just, the money side? I just wouldn't want to live like that. Like, it's more like, as far as clients for Hook Agency, we say we want calm, not agitated clients. I ultimately want to choose my vibe too. I don't just want to make money. And I honestly, I make as much money as I don't like need that much more things. Like, I'm not like a big sports car guy, and I don't really care about much like buyable items. I just don't give a shit. I care more about legacy and about like what our business does too. But like, if it was just money, it would make me a little sad. You know what I mean? It would make me a little sad because it's not. I also want to choose my vibe. I want to choose to be around people that I like, and I want to I want to be making their lives better. It's like, basically, I just don't think those people are greedy enough. They're not greedy enough because they just want money. I'm so greedy. I want money and those three things I just mentioned. Like, so
I love
I'm
that. I really do love that. That makes me like that, not greedy enough. I actually really do like that because that's what I want. It's the same
yeah.
thing. It is very clear to me that I do want to make significant income, but it is so much more important to me. And I get so much more satisfaction. Again, coming off just taking this like personality type quiz, leadership quiz. And it's like I answered all these questions, and they're all of them are about like my team and about how we work well together, and like what I get satisfied. Like I love it whenever we have a daily team meeting every single morning, and I love to make everyone's day as efficient as possible, as satisfying as possible, the least amount of roadblocks as possible, to feel like their purpose of that day for their profession is being achieved and they're
Mm,
not frustrated. Like whether it's
mm,
with us or with our clients, if I can help, our team, because there's obviously client issues as well too. So if I can
mhm.
help with that, I love that. I love that
Yeah.
because I feel that way. I don't want just the money. I want the other things that are actually way harder to get because you're affecting other people's lives in multiple levels. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
What
That's a
is
good.
what is that test, John? Sorry, Tim, didn't mean to cut you off.
It
I just wanted to make
is.
sure we get that name out there in case anybody else wants to take that test.
Yeah, it is called. It's a really easy one to do. Cameron sent it to me, so it's called the Predictable Success Quiz. It's literally predictablesuccess.com.
Sweet.
Predict
Love that.
predictablesuccess.com. It's a. I mean, I've taken a lot of these tests before. This one was specifically about leadership style,
Mm.
and like understanding. I think I know this is said a lot. Understanding yourself is really, really important. And you
Mhm.
change as you grow and as you professionally and personally, you do change slightly over time. And so you need to understand yourself probably at least every year. You need to take some of these like personality type quizzes to understand like what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Mhm.
And it's
And there's an exercise you can do. Like if you ever read Five Dysfunctions of a Team, we just did the exercise from that, which is essentially go around and they give you like everyone in the leadership team goes around and gives you like one thing that is just massively helpful for the company and that's one of your biggest strengths, and then one thing that you may not realize but is holding you back and the
yep.
team back. And like that, we just did that at our traction meeting. And man, to understand yourself, to get those like harsh realities from your team, tough. But then you also get like really nice compliments. So I love Five Dysfunctions of a Team. And I recommend any leadership team read that. And I think like I love the idea of like you have to understand yourself to improve. And there has to be harsh realities to
Sure.
what our weaknesses are, which is super tough. But like I got hit in the face. I think my COO was trying to hurt me a little.
Coming after you.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, like, that's one thing specifically in our daily meetings. We don't go into that deep because we try to keep them between
Oh yeah.
five
Yeah.
and 15 minutes. But I do want to at least touch on that every day
Yeah.
because those little tiny things build up over time. And then
Mhm.
hopefully, because I like that, I like what you're saying, so we can have more meaningful conversations, longer conversations in the future, either
Yeah.
quarterly or
I like
semi-annually.
quarterly, man. I like that quarterly big long day meeting
I like
personally.
that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like to plan during for quarters anyway, but I want to reduce the actual problem, not just like,
Mhm.
hey, let's build up a big problem. Let's make this little
Yeah.
problem a big problem for
Yeah. Yeah.
for the whole quarter. So
No, for sure.
so I really like that. I really do because I think that Proline, that's actually what one thing that we try to use Proline. That's why I like it so personally, because it actually reduces a lot of those issues like by creating tasks or
Mhm.
automations to help with the communication. Like it really does. People always talk about systems and processes. Well, like that's what it is though.